Norton Motorcycles, a name synonymous with power, prestige, and an exhaust note that sets souls on fire. But have you ever wondered who owns this iconic British brand today? Join us as we peel back the layers of history and reveal the truth behind the roaring enigma that is Norton Motorcycles. It all began in 1898 when James Lansdowne Norton, a man with a name that could only be shortened to JL for comedic purposes, founded the Norton Manufacturing Company in Birmingham, England. Initially, the company specialized in producing bicycle parts. However, fate had other plans. By 1902, Norton introduced its first motorcycle, the Energette, a revolutionary creation powered by a 143cc single-cylinder Clement engine. And just like that, Norton Motorcycles was born. The early 20th century was Norton's playground, and they made quite a name for themselves. In 1907, Rem Fowler, a man who probably wore goggles even when playing charades, secured victory at the inaugural Isle of Man TT race aboard a Norton motorcycle. This wasn't just any race. It was the start of the greatest motorcycle race in history. The TT, as it's known today, is where legends are made and shattered. And Norton was right there making memories that would echo through generations. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. As the decades rolled on, Norton faced financial storms that threatened to sink the company. Yet they rode through the rough patches, emerging stronger each time. In the 1950s, they introduced the featherbed frame, a game-changer in motorcycle engineering. It was lighter, more rigid and safer than what was available. Other manufacturers took notice, and some even copied them, but Norton's quality remained unmatched. During this era, Norton's racing legacy reached new heights with multiple wins at the Isle of Man TT. Their dominance was challenged by rivals like BSA and Triumph, but Norton stood firm. Models like the Commando and Dominator became not just motorcycles, but cultural icons. They were roaring works of art that turned heads and made jaws drop. Unfortunately, the 1980s proved to be a turbulent time for Norton. The company was sold to Canadian businessman Nelson Skalbania, who poured his heart and soul into reviving the brand. But as the saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. When things didn't work out with Skelby, Norton changed hands again, leading to a merger with BSA and Triumph, which eventually led to the formation of Norton Villiers Triumph in 1973. You know you've reached a historic milestone when even your name change becomes legendary. But the road wasn't all smooth tarmac and winding country lanes. The 1990s were tough, and Norton had to downshift. Production ceased, and the company went into hibernation. Many thought this would be the end, that the legend of Norton would fade into a distant memory. But as they say, never write off an iconic British motorcycle brand, especially when they're fueled by the spirit of resilience and a couple of scoops of fish and chips. In 2008, Stuart Garner, an entrepreneur with a passion for motorcycles, acquired the rights to Norton. He relaunched the brand at Donington Park with the goal of carrying on the legacy while injecting modern sensibilities. One of their most successful models, the Commando 961, was a re-engineered version of the original, paying homage to the past while incorporating contemporary design and technology. However, as the saying goes, even the best-laid plans can go up in smoke. In 2020, Norton went into administration due to mismanagement under Garner's leadership. Talk about a plot twist. Garner was later convicted for misusing pension funds, leading to one of the biggest scandals in recent times. Turns out he was the baddie all along. Who saw that coming? And so the tale of Norton reached a crucial juncture. It needed a savior, someone to steer it clear of the storm clouds that had gathered on the horizon. Enter TVS Motor Company, an Indian manufacturer with a stellar reputation. They swooped in and bought Norton for £16 million in April 2020. Now you might be thinking, what does an Indian company know about British motorcycles? Turns out a lot. TVS, known for producing over 3 million two-wheelers annually, has a rich history of understanding what makes motorcycles tick. Under TVS's stewardship, Norton has been fine-tuning its product lineup. The re-engineered Commando 961 has been a solid performer, and the V4SV, well, it's still in its infancy, but shows promise. In a surprising turn of events, Norton has decided to put its electric superbike project, Project Zen, on the back burner. Apparently the demand wasn't as strong as they had hoped. But hey, You can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs. And there you have it, folks. The story of Norton Motorcycles, a tale as gripping as a high-octane thriller and just as exhilarating as a ride through the countryside on a Norton. Remember, every bike has a story and every mile is a memory in the making. So keep riding and keep living.